We just have a knack for finding really good stuff, really good cuts here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, and just about all the music we play. You understand, it's spontaneous here. It just comes up as it will. It calls to me from the green room, and away it comes right here, right now, because that is its turn. I got a big old bucket of love here, like Santa's sack full of beautiful tunes and lots of tunage. And babies, one of them just calls to me, and here it comes. And it always carries a message. It always carries forward the story that we're sharing in the middle of the night. Always the energy of what's going on and what's getting it just right. Of how we're coming out of living hell back to a place that we can only call paradise, because that's where we came from in the beginning. That's where we return to now, as the beginning is all over again. There's never an end, don't you see? The journey is never over. The journey never ends. Wherever you are on it, that's where it just begins. We're finally arriving at the place we've always been. Two rivers joining, babies. Wow. What a journey that's been. And what a life we live to tell about now as we flow in the singular direction of the heart. The one creative source, love in all, is the flow, direction, the energy by which this great river of life comes together now and flows to the sea. The great ocean of love, where it recreates all quite naturally. And out of the protoplasma of the loving ocean, the great giant sea, comes the return of life in its most essential purity. A life of joy lived without pain. A wonder to behold. In all life do we gain the experience of love in a moment of time. That is, simply put, quite divine. And babies, that's yours, and babies, that's mine. But we don't lay claim to it. It comes naturally. More natural than rain from the sky. More natural than flowers from the earth. More natural than footsteps that walk upon the earth. More natural than all these things. As natural as anything the heart can bring. And soon you will see what lives in naturally, the natural way, which up until this time completely unknown, yet a nagging after effect in the human psyche, something that would never leave us alone. A life that comes back to life now from its hidden places, in the inner reaches of the heart, the darkest little folds we could find to hide it in, babies. That's where it went, and stayed there forever, until its time, which is now. The opening of the heart. You feel the emotion, you feel the wave, you feel the energy spinning forward from your heart, yes, in the center of your chest as well. It all seems to unify, work together. The energies flow together. Yes, indeed, the mighty rivers of yourself. The seemingly distinct, different, individuated parts inside of yourself that aren't so individuated, aren't so distinctly separate any longer. There's a new view coming. It's not like anything we've felt, lived, or experienced before. It's brand new. We're creating it now, in this moment in time. It's a union of the divine heart, of one love in everything, all forms of life. And therefore all forms are changing to match this great shift, this uniting of energies inside of yourself, which then is reflected in this earth reality. Happens then for everyone. The consciousness then becomes complete. But there's a bit of time between here and there, but not a whole lot. As we've been saying all along here for the last 6 months or so, it's wild, it's crazy. But baby, don't be lazy. It's here now. It's happening. You don't have to wait. Don't sit there on the couch and think you can just drink your beer and get through it. It ain't going to happen that way, babies. You're going to be moved. You already are. You know, the forces of change, the winds of change are blowing mightily tonight. You're coming back to life, whether you know it or not. And it doesn't really matter. It's just easier if you're conscious of it, if you're aware of it. But just know that it's happening. It's as real as anything you could imagine. How about that, babies? Are we getting it on tonight or what, man? Right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, where only and exclusively and heartfeltedly so, the Hazy Radio Network, baby. The rockin'est network in town, baby. Well, our anniversary date's coming up here. I think it's August 17th. We'll have to have a little party. If we're still here partying down, well, we'll have to have an even bigger party. And if we're still here partying down, we'll have to have an even larger party that night. Or that, yeah, on the nighttime flight. We'll get carried away, you know. We'll make sure that they remember that when they wake up in the light of day. We're good at that, babies. That's the one thing this Vibe Tribe knows how to do, and that's party. Like party and foods. Man, each and every one of us. We got wings a mile wide, but inside of those wings we can't really hide. We just have to like draw them in a little bit and start boogie woogie rock and roll. Across the sky we strum and stroll. Into the heart of the many do we flow. Babies, when we party, that's where we go. Right to the love and memory of the soul. And unwind what's hidden behind the heart. And let them see that living work of art that all of us truthfully are. There is no they, there is no them, there is no anything but us. One, I. One. Universal heart in each and every life that lives. And God, ain't we beautiful? Ain't we put together in stunning ways? I mean, it's incredible. For all of our little weaknesses and all of our bitching and moaning about the breaking down of the body. It's incredible what we've been housed in here. And how gently it's treated us compared to how it could have been, babies. I mean, you know, we abuse these things a lot. These little vessels of love that we carry around our heart. Yes, indeed. But at the same time, there can be no abuse. You see, you can eat, be, do whatever you want with this body of yours, as long as it's given in a loving way, as long as you see it flowing from the heart, it's all okay. You know, it's all perfect and in every right. You hear people talking about, well, you know, if you're in the right frame of mind, you can eat poisons and blah, 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 blah. You know, blah, 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 blah. But there's a reality to that, too. You know, I've seen it proven in my own life when somebody poisoned my food and there was no effect. I've seen it when I've been stung by a huge insect and there was no effect. Things like that. There's been a lot of proof moments for me, you know, where I as a person could see the reality of just being present keeps you safe. You know, if you're in a good vibe, really, even if you're doing the biggest screw up on earth, you can't really be hurt or scathed by it. If there's one thing I've proven to myself again and again, well, for one, you don't have to live in self-torment, but for the other, again and again, it's the incredible durability of the heart to endure not only anything, but some of the most gut-wrenching moments you could imagine for yourself as a human being. To have your emotional ability stretched to the limit and beyond, and still be living, breathing, and loving life and being okay with all of that. Letting the stretch be natural. You see, natural is far different than we've ever really anticipated. And as these huge rivers of life naturally flow together, at this moment of juncture, this place in time, which is the end of the long valley of division, babies, there is a uniting in the hearts of this planet such as we have not seen before. And these things that I speak of become a reality as you continue to live it. It's not just idle talk, you know, going down the river of love. It's the reality of the flow of that stream and its effect upon the living. No one lies down and dies in it any longer. If you try, you just wake right back up and you're alive again. It's Groundhog Day, babies. It goes on forever. You see. And then you realize your truth and you step out for once and forever from this drudgery and this beautiful experience that we call time. And out of the dynamic along with it of what? Division. So there was no drudgery. There was no time. There was only experience. You're awakening now, children. The dream is over. I've got coffee and bacon and eggs ready down in the kitchen. Babies, let's see what else we can do for the day to create some enjoyment for ourselves. The suns are rising inside of you, inside of me too. Babies, it's a new day. Let's get up, get moving, and get out and play. Okay? I thought you heard that. Wowee, babies. The coyotes is singing tonight, man, all over this earth, every continent, on every little hill. The coyotes is singing their beautiful song tonight. And there's not a speck of mourning in it whatsoever. We've done our share of mourning. Now we get to dawn, which is a mourning of a different sort. Not the kind that grieves you whatsoever. The kind that brings you right back to life. Right here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Only on the Hey Z Radio Network, babies. We love you so. This time, I'm in it for love. This time, I'm in it to win. When I got such a great attitude, how can I possibly lose? Of course. This time, we're all in it for love. This time, we're all in it to win. When I say all, I mean humanity in general, and in a greater sense, Mother Earth and all of her surrounding environments. This time, we're in it for love. This time we'll make it somehow. Because we already got it made right here inside of our heart. Right here inside of every life that lives is the reality, the truth, the key to unlocking the door that sets yourself free so that you can be living quite naturally from your heart and never be subjected to the pressures of powerlessness again. To always know your strength of heart, to always see your place in creation and to live it to the fullest extent possible. This is the flow, the real glow of life. This is what it desires for you, and therefore this is what you desire for yourself. The best of everything, in the sense, and the ability to live life to the fullest, richest extent in each moment that you live. Now, this does not mean we surround ourselves with opulent luxury as in the past, with diamonds and jewels and furs and big houses and fancy cars and cocktail parties till who knows when, etc. None of that shit. Well, I can't say none. We don't throw a baby out with the bathwater. Of course we party and celebrate. Of course we enjoy a certain level of luxury. But it doesn't come from these superficial means. It's not consumerism. It's not taking advantage of your fellow man or woman any longer, in any way. It's not living off the blood and sweat and toil of others. It's not engaging yourself in a highbrow sort of way so that you can control the lives of others, etc. It's being real. It's being around when there's life living and knowing that you're the one living it. It's being beyond imagining in the heart to the extent where you are living the heart. That is your imagination, is your life. You imaginate every bit of it right into being, along with all the life that surrounds and conjuncts with you, which is all life. Baby, wow. We got it all. And man, all we do as we cruise on through here on the Coyote Medicine Show here in the middle of the night, watching those two great rivers flow below and just unite. Oh, babies, aren't you glad we took this flight? Aren't you glad now? Don't you feel the flow coming home? Do you feel the redirection of your energies? The union is occurring even now. And this may go on for several days or weeks, or it may be over with in the next 25 seconds. You really can't say. You just be there with it, flow with it, be the love that you are, be the life that you are. You'll have peace about everything, babies. We've been through the more tawdry dynamics tonight. You're kind of catching on. And hell's bells, so am I, after all this time. Babies, that's what happens when humans unite. We create magic in the middle of the night. And oh my God, when we do this in the daylight, wow, all of the wicked witches, etc., take flight. I'm speaking in the sense of Wizard of Oz witches, etc. It's not anything personal, babies. Please don't take it that way. We try to be as politically incorrect as the bad boy on the block can be here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. You betcha. We the bad boy with a good attitude. We the bad boy with a great heart. We got the bad boy with a spirit of gold. And babies, one who's helping you watch the divine mystery unfold right there in your life as well as in mine. Babies, everything we do, every breath we take, it's simply divine. We live in ecstatic consciousness. Yeah. And we're just about to get there, too. Right around the next bend, let's go have a beer over here at Harry's, shall we? No sense rushing things. That's the attitude some of us take. Because it's hard to think of letting it all go and stepping into a whole new way of being. Part of us just psychically connects that with death, even though it isn't death. It's a very similar process. But it isn't death. It's coming back to life in fullness, wholeness. Just allowing it to be. To let ourselves flow beyond the misconceptions of light and dark. The misconceptions of love and hate. The misconceptions of have and have not. The misconceptions of alone and alone and alone and alone. Perhaps the biggest misconception of all, that we need to feed the emptiness in any way. We are not alone, and we are not empty. And babies, life is going to prove this to you again and again as this mysterious night continues to unfold long after the coyotes have ascended in flight and gone away. Yeah, right back to bed. That's right. I get my own time to dream a little bit, baby. And under that blanket, I get it going on. Life comes to me, shares with me everything. Everything. I live that way now. It's here in my heart. It's there in yours too. And as I live everything, we undo everything we ever did to one another that was hurtful and harmful in any way. We undo the process that created the harm and the perceived darkness in the first place. We undo the process by which we ever felt ourselves to be unloving in any way. We undo the process by which we've seen ourselves as inferior and unable to move, powerless, held in a corner tightly by pressures we couldn't even understand or conceive of. Yet we had to deal with it, and deal with it we did. And babies, we've come out from under that rock, out of that corner, with life just a-glowing. There's no way to stop it now. We're alive, and coming back to life, as the coyote continues to sing its joyous song here in the great night. Oh yeah, babies, you got that right. Don't you just love to hear them coyotes sing? I do too. Here we go, babies. Wow. Right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. Your host, Grandpa Peter Coyote, helping you take this flight tonight, along with Mother God's heart, who's helping you get it just right, babies. And you can, indeed, have it all.